Thank you guys for being here. It is stupid cold where I'm at right now, and I know it's cold in a lot of places that you guys are. Chicago, Michigan, yeah, Midwest, New York, bro. The East Coast, man, it is cold. Like I woke up to 3 degrees this morning. Wind chill crazy. So, before we get started, I have on a Kokomo timepiece that was gifted, my first watch for this year. I've been wearing this proudly, really like this watch. It's really, man, it's just, I don't know. It's a nice watch, man. It just captures a lot. It captures a lot, I dig it. But today, man, today's episode is going to be a little different. We're going to go a little sideways because later on this week, as a matter of fact, Thursday we'll be talking. We'll have a discussion Thursday evening around 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about watches, man. But today, we'll be talking about sort of like predictions of watches, the elitist attitude towards watches, or snobbery, if you will. We'll be talking about it. We'll be touching on a number of these things and how healthy is the watch community. Today, that's what this is inspired by. Today's episode is inspired by this. And I'm going to tell you this. Anybody that, if you haven't received this book, first, Matt Hranek, I believe that's how, Hranek, I think that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if I'm butchering it. I'm reading this book. Right? Reading through. And this is one of those books that you can read through and then just go back and just skim through and just look at, like, the creating. And we're going to go through a couple of chapters, actually. We'll go through a couple of things in this book today. But I was inspired today. I was inspired by this and a lot of conversations. What's up, Long Ranger? I see you in the chat, bro. A lot of conversations. And, of course, I have some watches here with me. But the best thing I tell you is I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we were talking about like what watches really mean to us, right? And I know for 2025, right before 2025 hit, there were a number of predictions that came out. There were a number of channels, and they're still doing predictions up to this point. And then we got into horology, and one that I really don't cover. There was like, man, I want to say 3-4 weeks, maybe a month of I'm not even gonna name them, but like somebody got sentenced for a horology Ponzi scheme of taking people's watches. You guys know exactly who that person is. I'm not gonna get into it. We may discuss it Wednesday. We may get a little deeper into it because here's the thing: if you don't take nothing else away from today's episode and then Wednesday, it is what type of collector are you, and how do you feel about the watches that you collect, right? Let's jump into this book, and I'm going to link this book to YouTube. A Man and His Watch, and I just want to read a few things. So that is the very first thing we come across, right? And in the preface, he said, "I have my father's watch. It's a Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust, stainless steel with a black dial." He goes on to talk about, he tells a story about this. But like the thing about Matt, I looked up, so this book, bro, and I said, bro, I know there's ladies too, I'm sorry, ladies. This book literally is just one of a few. He said a man in his kitchen, a man in his car. I don't know what else, but I want to get the man in his car because I love cars. Yo, T White, what's going on, bro? Jay Jones, what's happening? But hold on, let's dig a little deeper. So, I'm actually on this. Stuck on this page right here about the Cartier, right? And he kind of just goes through the history of why this watch exists, right? But then this is what got me. I'm gonna read this. Give me a second. Let me get to it. What you see here could be considered the beginning to every story in this book. This is not just the first pilot watch, though it could be considered that. But in fact, it is also the earliest wristwatch to capture the imagination of men across the world. And that's what, if nothing else, that's what really got me and captured something, because we talk about the watches we collect. A lot of us have a number of watches in our collection, right? And what is that one question that is always asked? Like, hey, if you had to tear your collection down to one watch, what would it be? Well, that's a hard one. If you got more than 10 watches in your collection, you'll have an easier chance of answering that question than somebody that has 100 watches in their collection. And if you say, and here's a crazy thing. Here's one thing I'm going to point out, because I'm going to be pointing out a lot of stuff, y'all. There was a comment that was made. Anybody that has over 50 watches is considered a hoarder, right? But there is a young man, an older gentleman, actually, that TGV interviewed, right? And this man has a ton of watches. I think he has over 1,000 watches in his collection, and they're very interesting. So there will be. So let's look at it from this standpoint. I'm going to show you two watches. Right here, this is a Spinnaker collaboration, right? This one is a deep blue, right? Two different companies, but these aren't considered to be some world-renowned watch. These watches didn't break any records as being the first watch to be worn, somebody going into space, somebody to win I don't know, a race or something like that, swimming across the English Channel. Like these watches are affordable timepieces. They're fun to collect. This one, however, this is called the Juggernaut, deep blue Juggernaut. It has a Swiss movement in this thing, right? It has a flag on the back. I'll talk more about this watch in a later video, but the point I want to make to you is this guy is in New York, right? Now Spinnaker is, I believe it's a Chinese brand. I could be wrong, but I know it's a collaboration with Mark from Long Island. And the thing about both of these watches is you can get a timepiece on your wrist for an affordable price, and they look good. They fit a certain style. But let's say, for instance, this was a watch that a man bought, and he started his own business. He wore this watch every day for 20 years. Once that man is gone, his business is over with, or he passes it down to his children, guess what? His children, they're going to look at this particular right here and say, this is a very significant piece in the history of our family because my dad wore this watch every day. He struggled. He did this, like the business burned down. He built it back up, and he wore this watch. Now, this watch goes from being an idea in a man's head to come out with a watch that, an affordable timepiece for most people to wear, to an iconic timepiece to a family, the heritage. And this could very well go into a book like A Man in His Watch. What's up, Watch Nicholas? What's going on, man? Hey, I saw you last night, man, on Archie's, man. I stopped by there yesterday, man, to say what's up to everybody. Rico G. Why? I have no idea why. Are you having a bad day, Rico G? Jay Jones, okay, y'all speaking to each other. Chemo, so okay, thank you guys for speaking. And all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Thank you for the thumbs up and stuff like that, man. But let's continue. Now, let's put this back on the table, man. So I have a number of watches. I mean, a ton of timepieces in my collection, and it's like, what would I consider to be like? What watch would I be known for in my family? Like, what, even with YouTube, because these stories differ. I'm going to tell you this, and I encourage anybody. Now, I don't get sponsored. I'm not, honestly. I didn't even put a link to this book, but I did purchase this book off of Amazon, and I was inspired to buy this book because I was looking at, some of my favorite YouTubers have this book in their collection. So I went and bought the book, and I read it, and I'm like, yo, the stuff that you see. And granted, let me just say this. I'm gonna be honest. I was talking to Kimo Sabi. He's in it. What, Don? How you doing, bro? How you and your wife doing? Rolex, I think, is an over-talked. It's an over-mentioned brand. And and you can't take away, that goes without saying that you can't take anything away from Rolex, right? It is what it is. Can't take anything away from it. However, there are a number of companies out there, watchmakers, that are phenomenal, and they're right for a particular crowd. Case in point, for those people that like Hamilton, some of those that are like, hey, I remember Hamilton used to be an American brand. Yep. We can preach that all day, but they are a member of Swatch, and we're not even talking. We're talking about what Hamilton. When you see the word Hamilton, that invokes something, just like Rolex invokes something, like Omega invokes even here in Brigade, because the Brigade is celebrating a birthday, right? And then Vacheron and Brigade, two oldest companies in existence today, right? So that invokes something. But that comes from, you have to know the research. You have to know, when did these watch companies start? Why did they start, right? Here's one, the Vacheron Constantine. This watch was made for people driving those cars with those huge steering wheels, so they can, while they driving, they can look down, and it's angled in a way that makes sense. They don't have to tilt their head or be distracted to get into a car accident type deal. So there was a quote in here that I wanted to. Watches tell the world a bit about who you are, and they can, if you're lucky, connect you to the people in your life who matter most. With that being said, there are watches that even I was listening to. I think early on time was talking about a watch that his daughter bought. Right, it's not some horological powerhouse timepiece, but for him it means a lot because his daughter bought it. Which I know he's going to be going live tonight with his watch haul, and I want you guys to check that out, man, because in that there's this thing, man. We're not all in the same spot financially. We're just not. Some of us will never be in a spot to where you can go out and look at a $41,000 timepiece and say, yeah, that's the one I want to get, right? What was it? It was a Patek. The Patek annual calendar, the one, it was a 2013, I believe. Was it 2013? No, it may not have been that old, but I can't tell you reference. You have to look at I got it on the short. It's all great. Anywho's, that watch, beautiful watch. I love the fact that, like, it's very quiet, subdued, but it's still mechanically sound. It's like, this thing is so complicated in comparison to this watch, right? And I like this watch. I really like, this is, man, it's like, I just like it. You know what I'm saying? Like the colorways, all the stuff, everything about this watch, I like it. But this isn't a Rolex. This isn't an Omega, right? This is an affordable timepiece that happens to, like, Mark from Long Island will tell you, if you watch one of his videos, he'll be like, yes, I'm trying to sell this watch to you, but I'm going to give you the description. I'm going to give you this. It has no historical value outside, like, it has no historical value. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them things where you get it, you like it, and you keep it moving, man. You really can't compare this. Like, for example, this has been an age-old conversation here on YouTube. Invicta Submariner, or homage piece, versus the Rolex Submariner. And it's like, yo, the only thing you can say about those two, they look alike. It is paying respect. It's paying homage to a powerhouse timepiece, to a brand that is just phenomenal. Well, let me get into the chat real quick. What's up, man? Trap, am I a hoarder? I only have 10 watches. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. Afternoon, what's going on, Oscar? What's going on, y'all? So today's episode, like this live, it was really, bro, it's gonna be another one of those I'm in and out quick lives. Here's the thing about what I wanted to share with you guys, because when Thursday night, we're gonna go in depth with this conversation, but I'm gonna have some help. I'm gonna have some people with me that night, and it could be an open forum. It could be an open forum, but just I want you to keep your mind open to what is your watch, the watches that you purchase, the ones that you're seeking to get. What does that look like? How are you shaping it? Because what I'm seeing on YouTube right now is Everybody's doing their duty or their job that are YouTubers to present watches that are coming out. You have Watches and Wonders is coming up, right? You have District Times is coming up, DC Times. You have well, let me see what else. You got Wind Up. You have Minutes and Hours, and each one of these are going to represent a company like Squale, right? Still an independent brand. Is this watch worth putting in your collection? I would tell you before you even, if you're gonna collect watches like this, if you know, like, just don't take my word for it, saying, hey, on what's the word I'm looking for? Specification wise, phenomenal watch. Those that are looking to have a phenomenal dive watch, this thing is built for that. Now, this particular one has a leather strap, so of course, before you get in the wallet, you want to take that leather strap off and put something that's fit for the duty. However, I encourage you, man, go learn about the story. There's actually just type up the history of Squale, right, and you'll see the family and the family friends. A friend of the family owns it now, and Mark from Long Island just did a video. What's the company name? I think it's called Herodia. I believe it's called Herodia. That company is owned by Squale, and they have homage pieces, man. Just check it out for yourself, and go from there. Dwight, what's going on, man? I'm watching TV. Watch out behind you. Watch your back. I'm watching you. John Jones, I ain't worried about you watching me. You can't watch me from the back unless there's a camera back there. And I'm definitely not worried about you coming over here. If we know each other, how you doing? If we don't know each other, if you're just joking, that's watch your back. Or if you're just being funny, I'm watching TV. You silly kids. Watchdog 60. What's going on, man? What's happening? 17 degrees here now. We ain't single digits, bro. I wish it was 17 degrees here. It's more like 5. I think that's a high today. That is a high. All right, I'm gonna read something else before I get up out of here. In this book, and this is what I'm reading out of right here. A Man in His Watch, right? Ed Rippert says, for me, watches signify special occasions. I'll buy one for myself as a gift, maybe for the holidays, or maybe before if I can't wait. And that sounds like somebody I know. We got our own Jay Jones is in the building right now. I know he'll buy a watch just because special occasions, and hey, I can't wait. There's a sale going on, so I'm gonna buy it. Well, a lot of us are like that, right? And like I was saying before, before getting out of here, this is a watch that I gravitate to on a regular basis, and that is my Glycine Airman. I gravitate towards that watch a lot. There's another watch that I think is just solid because I like Bruce Lee. Right? This is a collaboration, and we can argue the fact that that this watch. Matter of fact, hold on, let me get it right before I tell you. It's a number limited, but it's 15,000 made. So one may say that's not limited, bro. That's crazy. But let's take ourselves outside of that for a second, man. And if you are one of the people that were lucky enough to get that watch, that means you bought it for the fact that you like Bruce Lee, or you may just like black and gold, and you just happen to buy that. Because I'm pretty sure that some people bought that Bruce Lee timepiece without any connection to Bruce Lee. And if you say that's impossible, it's not. Trust me, that happens. People buy watches just because. Risk for ignorance. What's going on, man? Senior Trap. Thank you, sir. Hi, thank you. Ramon, how you doing, bro? How you doing? I know. I already know, man. Listen, man. I promise you, this channel is a lighthearted channel, man. I talk junk sometimes, man, but it's really, man. We have fun here, man. We get people come in and say some crazy stuff, man. But it really, we'll take stuff that serious over here to where, not over here, man. Life's too short, man. Life is way too short. And this is why, this is one of the reasons why I went live today, was want to get us ready, prepared for Thursday. Keep in mind, I'm going to be showing watches Thursday, like this Glycine GMT, this Mido right here, Multi Fort, which is a solid watch, but that's just me. Get right. This Jack Mason right here, which may Thursday. I may even put the actual bracelet on it that I purchased for it that I haven't worn yet. But this one is another watch. All of these watches have a meaning to them. I purchased them for a reason, even down to this Phoebus timepiece with the NH38 in it. Don't sleep on the NH movements, man. This watch right here, A1. But what does your watch mean? A man in his watch, a woman in her watch. We are all connected, and I would say it all started with a watch for me. It all started with a watch. It started with my love for a timepiece, which just happened to be, it was actually a Daytona that had me like really enjoying watches and chronographs. And from there, Casio to, of course, your G-Shocks, to Timex, to whatever. I just like watches, man. And this is something I want to tackle, and we're going to tackle. So Shane Phillip, hey Trap, love the Squad 1521. Check out the 1521. Hold on, let me screenshot that, because I haven't seen that. Shane, thank you, Shane. Thank you so much. Hemi, what's going on, bro? All right, we got that. Thursday, yes, Thursday evening at 8 p.m. I'll be going live with some guests, and we're going to be talking watches, the history of watches, man. We're going to be getting some ideas from you guys in the chat that you know, if you want to just give us like your honest opinion, your take. And it's a judgment-free zone, because we're going to be talking about Aragon, Invicta. I'm touching every watch, man. And if I've never touched it, I'm going to talk about it. You know, from Squale to Grand Seiko. I'll tell you guys what I think about Grand Seiko. Like when I went the other day to actually look at it, yeah, I'll give you guys my take on that one, man. So, working in the snow and freezing. Okay, I'm on to my next location. So I'm gonna have to end this live early today. Hey, bro. Hey, man. Listen, man. This is a spot, bro. Buc-ee's. Yeah, man. I'll say this before I go, man. Please take good care of yourself. I've literally adjusted my diet. You guys know that I get up and eat breakfast and stuff in my favorite spots. I'm not throwing that away completely, but I've slowed down. So I want to be healthier. You know what I'm saying? I want to be healthier. I want to be around. And plus, there's some watches that I want to get and wear, and I want to look the part. You know, they're superhero watches to me, and I want to look like a superhero in that watch. I want to feel at my best in that watch, man. We'll talk about it a little bit more, man. But yeah, I hope you guys take care of yourself, your mental and stuff like that. If you need help, man, there are places in your area, in your community. But I do have some resources, man. So hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, man. I know people that can actually help you, even if you live in somewhere else. They have sister places that can help you out. That can help you out if you're having some mental crisis and stuff like that, or health issues, man. Yeah, gotta go, man. Appreciate you guys for watching, man. And let's tune in to Merely on Time tonight. I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what that is for you guys, but I'll catch you guys later on. On Thursday, if you want to come up, man, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Y'all be blessed.